Good morning, it's Shanna. We are back again for the second installment of my tarot collection. As I mentioned in the first video, I'm doing this more as a way to sort of make it more fun for me to go through all my decks and take note of what I have, because I've sort of lost track of which ones I have, which ones I've rehomed, and I really like to try and keep a record, and I haven't taken note of all of them since I started writing down monthly what I'm bringing in. So I figure while I'm editing these videos, I can keep a pen and paper next to my computer and I'll just write them as I go, so that then I can put them in a spreadsheet or whatever. Okay, so how I'm doing this is I have about half my decks downstairs on bookshelves. I have the other half-ish upstairs in a cabinet, and then I have, that's half and half as a whole, but you know what I'm saying. I have some on my nightstand. I have some in my closet. I have a bunch here on the shelf. So I don't know, like a third, and a third, if we're going to get all mathy, okay? So we are on the second bookshelf from downstairs today. I'm just going to jump right in from there. So, Zombie Tarot. Never used this deck. This is a Don Michelle made me do it. Why did I decide? I don't know. I'm not sure what it was specifically that made me decide to go ahead and get it. Oh, maybe I do. It's the box. It's kind of kitschy. It's one of those things, it's one of those things. When I very first started collecting, if you want to use that word, collecting without collecting, I had it in my mind that if I could just get ahead of the game enough, if I could just get my foot in the door enough and purchase the correct decks, that I could then turn around and sell them when they went out of print and, just make buku bucks or whatever. The reality of that is, even if I bought every single out-of-print deck and then turned around and sold them at out-of-print prices, it's honestly, I would have to buy a lot of those decks to make it even worth my time. And even then it probably wouldn't, because it's a whole thing where you have to take pictures and you have to list them and you have to pack them and weigh them and take them to the post office. Anyway, I quickly learned that it's not worth it. So this was one of kind of those decks where I thought, oh, I'll get it because the box is unique and I think I can catch a pretty penny for it when it does go out of print, which may or may not be true. But this is not me at all. So it may wind up getting rehomed. I may hold on to it just because I do feel that it does have potential to become highly sought after. I don't know. I have no idea how these things work. I think it's all chance and luck anyway, most of it. Yeah, because I'm not even remotely drawn to this deck whatsoever. Which I feel bad saying, like, it seems so silly to have bought it then, right? But that is where my head was. So, the Zombie Tarot. And on that note, I think that was the second one I bought after I purchased the Housewives Tarot, because this one was also similar, similar box, same box. And this one has like recipe cards, which how the heck they got bent, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I really liked this one because I was a housewife for many, many years. And I'm not really drawn to this one either, but again, I was a housewife and I like it because of that. So once I saw that box and that it had the recipe cards in it, I figured I may as well get both of them, because I don't think any other decks come in these boxes that I know of. And even if they did, I wouldn't buy them at this point. So it's cute. I like that it has the different borders. And it's fun. I feel like this could be one, I think in one of my videos, I mentioned that this, I think it was my Tarot for my age video. I think I said this would be my 30s deck, just because I felt very in that zone during that decade. And it's true. So I probably will hold on to this deck just because of that. The backs remind me of a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook I had at one point. Yeah, it's just really cute. Oh, so the recipe cards are dividers for the major arcana, the minor, the instruction book. It's cute. I don't know why they're bent though. Did I put this in all wrong? I think that was right. Who knows? I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter. Housewives Tarot. Up next is the Pastoral Tarot. You guys, there are so many regretful purchases in here. Not because, you know, there's anything wrong with any of these decks. It's just, I bought them for the wrong reasons. You know, we've all done it. If you haven't done it, congratulations. Be proud of yourself because a lot of us have done it. I don't generally care for Lisa Hunt's artwork. It's objectively beautiful. It's just not my style. I don't get into it. Why did I buy this? I feel like I bought it for a specific reason. I've probably mentioned it in another video. I just don't remember. One of the reasons I know is that this card reminds me of my oldest daughter. And she's on the cover. So I don't know. This is cute. I mean, it's cute. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I could say about it, but it's not very, you know, it's not nice things. It's just gripey, uneducated things. This one's beautiful. I don't see myself using it. I haven't used it. There's a couple cards that bother me in here, like this one. I'm sure others have mentioned. Anyway, this is one that might get rehomed. I don't know. I feel like there was a specific reason, but it's not coming to me right now. So until I can think of that reason, it'll be staying just because if I rehome it and then remember why I bought it, I would be mad at myself. But that's that. I have nothing more to say because I don't know much about the deck. I don't really even have an opinion on it. The box is gorgeous. It's not my favorite design, but it's gorgeous. This could be a box that you could put things in if you decided to take the tarot out of it. It's got this nice little pull ribbon. Anyway, Pastoral Tarot. I feel like this shelf is the shelf I think I've put most of my like meh decks. Not all of them, but yeah, they're the ones that I don't generally use, so I'm not like digging through them to get a deck at any point. Next is the Tarot of the Magical Forest. However, it's empty because I have this one at work. I bought this one. It's cute, it's an easy reader, and my feelings were not gonna be hurt if it gets dirty or bent or grungy, which it does at work. So I don't have this to show you, but I think most of us have seen this. So next, the Greenwich Oracle deck. This is another one that is objectively beautiful. I thought it would look good with Little Bird Tarot. I like a lot of the cards, but it's not my style. I just can't work with this kind of artwork, which maybe is weird. Maybe it's picky. I don't know. It's like, I love the artwork. I just can't work with it as an oracle. I just get nothing from it. So it's nothing personal. It's my own personal thing. I think I would rather have stickers than an oracle deck. So I don't know. It was just pretty. This will likely be rehomed eventually. Anything that I say will likely be rehomed, or I think I'll rehome, go ahead and if you're interested, ask me about it, and we can make something work. It's just meh. Beautiful, but for me, it's meh. All right, next, Literally this whole shelf is going to be me saying, this deck is just meh, because this one is also meh. I trimmed this one. It was very, very poorly cut when I bought it. And so it was very uneven. So I had to trim it, like just the most tiniest little bit. I just get nothing out of this deck whatsoever. This was a FOMO deck, and yeah, gives me nothing. I just haven't taken the time to say I want to rehome it. Maybe I should be making a rehome pile to add to my already decided upon rehoming decks. Probably a good idea. Intuitive Night Goddess. All right, next, the Way Home Tarot. This is an interesting one. I went back and forth on it for a while, or quite a while, a few years. And then the Luminous Tarot, I'll put a picture up because I can't remember if that's the name of it. Came out mass market, and I really liked that one, but there are a few cards that just make me cringe. And this one reminded me of that in a lot of ways. And I like this one. I like more of these cards than those cards. So I decided to get this one. I love this Empress card. It's gorgeous cardstock. It's very satiny smooth. The artwork's great. I'm not a huge fan of the quartz, but overall, I really like it. That being said, I haven't really used it. Love this chariot. It reminds me of the, is it the Queen of Cups in the Wildwood? I think. Love it. I don't know. There's just a lot to it that I really enjoy. Yeah, so it's a keeper for now, at least. I haven't really used it. I've used it maybe once or twice when I first brought it in. Here. This is beautiful. Yeah, this is, gosh, I love that one. This is very light seers to me. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't know. I like this vibe. So, the Way Home Tarot, there are the backs. And honestly, I really appreciate an indie deck that comes in just a very simple box. It's easy to store. It's not complicated or fussy. So, all right. Witch Cats, You Are Magic. This is by Nicole Pierre. Love this. I have the other one, but the other one is out here for the season, so I will get to that one when I get to the appropriate shelf. Love this. It's got the messages on the back. I use these a lot. The other one I believe is in my nightstand basket, if I remember correctly. This one's just kind of one of those soothing, kind of a hug deck, I would say. But like a cat hug deck in that it's not gonna like sugarcoat it because it's a cat. I just think they're beautiful. I think they're pretty. If she came out with a third one, I would probably buy it as well, though I would hope that maybe the cats felt a little different than the first two, because I feel like the first two are very similar, which I'm fine with. They are definitely different cats, and the messages are all different. I just felt like this one, I imagined that it would have been more witchy, more dark, I guess. But that's just a me thing, me and my brain making assumptions. I know she has come out with, or is coming out with, a smaller size of each of these, which is cool. I won't be getting that, but if you're interested, I imagine they're probably less than these fuller size ones. This is on Etsy. Everything will be linked as usual. All All right, next, Mini Cat Tarot. I've gone back and forth on this one as to whether I need to rehome it. I think this was one of my first indie deck purchases. I bought this before I knew how to read tarot, before I really learned how to read it. So I remember like looking at it and going, cool, I have no idea what I'm looking at, and putting it away. And I've just not really used it, but it's so cute. I really like it. I like the borders. The art's fun. So it's a keeper for now. And honestly, I am perfectly okay. I've had to tell myself that it is okay, like really truly okay. It's not that deep if I want to keep a deck just because I like it. I don't have to use them. For me personally, that's not a reason to rehome a deck if I'm not using it. I have to genuinely not enjoy it for me to rehome it. So this deck's going nowhere. Next is the Pacific Northwest Tarot. Again, I believe these are vector images, so I don't think I've ever used it. Objectively beautiful. I love the tones. I love how soft. I don't know if it's a filter or it's just a technique. I don't know. The images are very soft. They're not sharp and bright and sort of glaring in your face, which I appreciate. I live in Oregon, so Pacific Northwest, which is why I bought the deck. So I think for that reason alone, I'll be keeping it. I could see myself taking this with me when I go on hikes with my husband. As I've mentioned before, every time I say go on hikes, I feel like I have to explain that my idea of a hike is along an easy trail on the coast. Not his idea of a hike, which is up a mountain with a 25-pound pack. That's not my idea of fun. Mine is very leisurely, slow, and with lots of pictures along the way. So I could see myself taking this potentially. As long as I can wrap my head around potentially getting it dirty, you know. But I've got to use these decks. Like the ones that I do like, I need to use them. Unless I'm collecting them, and I'm really not. So I just need to wrap my head around that. Okay, next I have a basket of miscellaneous things. So here's my basket. It's the things, the decks that don't have boxes or are not necessarily decks. So I'll just start at one end. I am going to try to show you and then put it back as we go, because otherwise I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything back in the exact way it is, and everything is sort of in there a very specific way. So bear with me as I untangle some of these cords. And I'll be honest, because they are on this second shelf with the meh decks, I'm not entirely sure what some of these are. I know what a couple of them are. This one will be a surprise to both of us. Oh, okay. This was the original Chroma Mystic. This is the second edition. I have the first edition as well. I feel like he made these available, the first edition available, before he put out the second edition. The issue with these is that the keywords are very small. The font is very kind of scratchy, and so it's hard to see on a lot of the cards. I don't know if you can see them on any of these, but I just really like the backs. And so, you know, I got the first edition. It was just regular price because it was from the creator. So it was not out of print prices, which was great because this deck was going for quite a lot used. But because I had two editions, I gave this one to my daughter, and she brought it back after a year and said that it just wasn't really for her. So I'm just holding on to this for now because it's pretty. I might eventually rehome it. I'm not sure. We shall see. Okay, next. Oh, is this guy. Tarot of Unknown Shadows. I've tried rehoming this multiple times. I thought I had a buyer a year or so ago, but they decided they changed their minds anyway. It's pretty, it's just not really me. It's really, I don't like I don't like the muddy decks where it sort of blends, everything sort of blends and you can't really tell exactly what, I don't like the muddy feel. So this is not, this is why it's on my second shelf, on the meh shelf. It's pretty. If you're interested, let me know. But like, only if you're actually interested, because, you know, it's kind of a pain to answer 7 or 8 emails that are like, I want the deck, I'm so excited. And then when I'm like, hey, get me your info, here's how to pay or whatever, and then there's just no reply. So please only ask if you're actually interested and are able to in the moment. Otherwise, yeah, Tarot of Unknown Shadows, the 2020 2nd edition. It's got the gold gilding, which apparently is one of the lesser easy ones to find. I don't know. Here are the backs. Let's get this in the right way. Let's not rush. Keep everything tidy, Shanna. Okay, next. This is one of those moments, you know, those moments where you're like, I am being so smart. I'm doing this thing that's going to win the day for myself. And then it doesn't. You're like, cool, that's fine. This is the Mindscapes Tarot. This is, I guess, okay, so I did buy a second majors only deck. This one is still sealed, so I won't be opening that one. I bought a second copy. I backed a second copy on Kickstarter because I thought it would be something along the lines of, oh, this is the one. Gosh, this is still wrapped. The other one, I just didn't break the seal. I opened it from the bottom. So I thought that it would be along the same lines as the Mindscapes. No. Majestic Earth. And I thought for sure that it would become one of those things that was crazy expensive and I would buy 2 and make a few bucks. When the creator first put this on Kickstarter, they said they had no intention of drawing the rest of the deck. But I feel like even just during the Kickstarter, they had changed their mind and said, yeah, you guys are so excited. I'll finish it, but it's going to take me some time. And then I feel like maybe within a year or so after the Kickstarter ended, they got picked up by Hay House, I want to say, pretty sure. These do come with big, like, coffee table books. I have 2 copies of those. But yeah, I don't think anyone cares. So that's okay. I have 2 copies now. If one of my kids wants one, it is theirs. If you want one, let me know. Okay, sorry, I'm probably bumping the camera. Didn't even realize that. This is, not sure. Oh, this is a, what is her name? Someone here on YouTube. If I can think of her name and find her channel, I'll link her below. This is off of Make Playing Cards. It's like, this creator makes several copies of the Rider-Waite-Smith and then puts different backs, does different finishes. You can choose linen or smooth, etc. They have several options. I'll link that shop as well. I just really wanted, so when I first got into tarot, I wanted nothing to do with Rider-Waite, as a lot of us, I think a lot of us can agree that that was a thing. Gorgeous linen. And then I decided that I needed the classic deck because I wanted to study it, I wanted to learn from, I wanted to use it as a reference when I was learning the other card, you know, other decks. So I bought the Centennial Edition and hated the cardstock. Like, it was so stiff. But then, because I really wanted to use it, I worked with it a ton. Like, I just shuffled it and shuffled it. And it's, over time, it has softened up, as they tend to do. But because this was on linen, I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'll get this one. And then I don't have to use the other one with the cardstock I don't like. Well, joke's on me. I don't really care about this deck. I think this was like 60 or 70 bucks, maybe. I can't remember. A few years ago. and I never use it. And then I bought the classic yellow box, blue plaid back deck, and I like that one, I think, probably the most. So this one sort of sits and languishes. If you're interested, let me know. This one is the K Love Tarot. I'm fairly certain that's how you pronounce it. K-E-I. I just recently, a couple weeks ago, reached out to the creator. I bought this deck on Etsy, or excuse me, I bought it on eBay, and it came in this bag. It smells really nice, actually. No box, unfortunately. So I reached out to the creator, asked her if I could buy a box from her, told her, you know, I got the deck off of eBay. It's definitely, you know, definitely a real deck. It's not a copy. I have the guidebook, and she agreed to send one to me. So I'm in the process of making that happen. So it'll be nice to have a box. I am obsessed with these backs. They kind of remind me of Baba Studio's backs. Not sure why, just that's what they look like, sort of, to me. As much as I like this deck, I simply cannot work with it because it has this weird number on every single card. And for whatever reason, that's the only thing I see when I pull up the card. Where is it on here? I suppose some of them have maybe been cropped. But I want to say, like, I don't know, 65 of the 78 has this number on it. And it's just, I don't know, it kind of ruined the deck for me. I don't know if it's that maybe, you know, maybe it's the creator's signature, her, you know, her tag. I don't know. I'm not sure, but never saw that in any of the walkthroughs that I watched. And I watched a lot of walkthroughs of this deck, and I don't remember anyone else mentioning it. So I'm mentioning it because it kind of ruins the deck. If you're interested in this, I think I would probably be willing to sell it. I don't have the box yet. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So, okay. Next, I'm definitely bumping the camera. Okay. This is a Krista deck, and I'll be honest, I don't remember the name of it. I have the guidebook downstairs. It's Ephemera, something Ephemera, Garden Ephemera? I don't remember. I'll put it on the screen, link everything below. This is a gorgeous deck. This is another one I bought thinking that it would look good with Little Bird, and it does. But I don't know who most of these people are. Gods, goddesses, figures, etc. And I don't work with most of them. There's a couple in here that I have worked with. So despite how beautifully put together this was and how much I enjoy the deck aesthetically, I'm just not, it's not one I'm drawn to work with. So I don't know. I haven't really considered rehoming it because it is so pretty. And honestly, I'll be completely honest, I feel kind of bad rehoming people's decks who potentially, you know, are here on YouTube. I never ever want to have anyone have their feelings hurt. But I'm fairly certain this is still in print. So if you are interested, obviously, as stated multiple times, I'll have everything linked below. I'll try to quit saying that. You get it. But this was beautifully put together. I think after Dawn Michelle did a review of it, I'm holding it close because I want you to be able to see how well Krista put these together, how well it's been collaged. Perfectly, in my opinion. But as I was saying, Dawn Michelle was like, she kind of went through and gave her opinion as well, which, you know, her opinion makes a difference here on TarotTube. And she mentioned how well it had been done. And I think at that point, that was what made me decide, look at these backs. That video was what made me decide that I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's such a bummer when you get a deck that you really, really like, you know, and it's beautiful and you want to look at it, but it just doesn't really work for you. And so sometimes it just doesn't really have a place. I don't know. We'll see. It's still here. It's in the basket. Okay, this is the second of 2 Lenormand decks that I have. I don't remember the exact title. If I can find it, I will link it. But this is the Thumbelina Lenormand, and it's super tiny, like so very tiny. I saw this on, what is her name? I'll put it on the screen. But it's very tiny. It's on Make Playing Cards, and no, it's on Etsy. It's on linen cardstock, and it's just so cute. Okay, Thumbelina Lenormand by what? Lauren Magic, maybe? It's just really cute, and it's so tiny. And I had a baby doll growing up that it was the baby doll. I carried it everywhere, her everywhere. I had her until I was probably a little too old for baby dolls, but she was my comfort. And her name was Thumbelina, so I knew I needed this deck. Look at this. I almost regret not getting the bigger one, but as I've mentioned, I don't really use Lenormand, so I don't really have a reason to get a second copy. Hopefully, oh my gosh, I hope that's been on the camera in frame. Anyway, this is one I don't believe I've shown on my channel before. I just got in this teeny tiny bag with some crystal chips, because why not? Okay, next is, I have these Mystic Metals Witches runes. I didn't get the regular set of runes because I have a wood set that I really enjoy, but I don't have a witches set. So we've got the moon, crossroads, waves, a blank, sun, rings, romance, harvest, woman, no, man, scythe, flight, eye, and star. I suppose the back of this one says yes. So it's fun. I've not really used it, but I really wanted a set of runes, and I thought this was a nice way to get them, something that will last forever, literally. So I'm not sure if these are still available. I've not heard one way or the other, but it's Mystic Metals. So, and then I have this little random, okay, this was a Krista bag, first of all. I have this bag of charms. I don't I don't charm cast. I guess I did make a set of witches runes, but I like my metal ones better. But I like having them in here nonetheless. So I've got like a rose quartz, I have sphere, quartz moon, I have a moon, a heart, a thimble, some wheat, I have an apple, a key, a starfish, another heart, a bottle top. And I've just sort of been collecting things. Random, what is this? Liberty Dollar. Anyway, whenever I find random bits or bobs, I just put it in this bag. And it's my charm bag. I haven't used them at all, but I like having it as an option. One day when the collection is larger, I'm sure I will probably use it. So, okay, I think that's it for the second shelf. Yes, that is it. So I have several more shelves to show, but that's it for this video. So I will catch up with you guys on the next one. Have a good week. Bye.